Media. This is our program Salone Talk. I'm Diana Coker.
And I'm Theophilus Gbenda.
Credible information. TDN.
Well, inside the program today, former First Lady, Madam Aissatou Jabi Kaba, gets appointment as Presidential Advisor on Gender. Dr. SAMURA KAMARA of the All People's Congress don't talk with the dialogue with the government of Sierra Leone. The West African Senior Secondary School results don't come out, so we will talk about that. Sierra Leone forget passenger railway service again. And Honorable Satomasin Lamina and Honorable Mohamed Bangura don't sworn in as ECOWAS member of Parliament. And also we will bring you the headlines on some of the local tabloids.
Yes, so we'll go straight to the newspapers then. We will likely also touch on one other issue where we'll now capture up on the headlines we just read. When the facts say the 2nd of October, they'll be observed as World Alcohol-Free Day. We'll find for a lot about that briefly, that today or the next edition. All right, so from them, we will go straight to the newspapers then, what we get today, and then the one already in front of you because there can plenty, but that's what we get. All right, so you say on the Calabash newspaper, APC SAMURA KAMARA's statement re-echoes initial party claims. Mano River Union unveiled 50th anniversary celebration. Then, of course, Orange Sierra Leone launches groundbreaking 5G trial service in Freetown. Then we'll go to another newspaper, when at the Modern Series, 1,000 graduates set to study abroad. Then Chadi collaborates with partners to establish ECOWAS Youth Parliament. Then, of course, you get this one, where the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone strengthens human rights and peace clubs in schools. All right, we'll take another one. After the Modern Series, we go to the Salone Compass newspaper. Telecom sector to normalize tariff. Then Corner and Co. committed unforgivable sin, quoting Dr. SAMURA KAMARA. Then SLPP in double standards, that they talk about the Pepel Railway and Ports Lease Agreement. I see that's a double standard there. We will investigate. The Africa 24 newspaper say telecom sector to normalize tariff. Bra Ibobode not helping youths. Bio government is illegitimate. They are quoting Dr. SAMURA KAMARA. Then on the Premier News, Sierra Leone inflation at 50.94%, a record high. 1,000 graduates to study abroad. We can't accept illegitimate takeover of government by force, quoting Dr. SAMURA KAMARA. Independent observer, ahead of political mediation, SAMURA KAMARA talks tough. Then government faces security over government faces scrutiny over railway and ports lease. Night Watch newspaper, stolen elections, coup against the states, quoting Dr. SAMURA KAMARA. I will not betray Sierra Leoneans, again quoting Dr. SAMURA KAMARA. The public review, SAMURA KAMARA fights again. Then Orange Sierra Leone launches first 5G trial. Bio makes new appointments. Energy Minister highlights new activities. All right. Then we will take the last set of the newspapers then. I can just go to them straight away. Well, of course, I think I don't go through the all Diana.
Well, before we start the discussion, we'll take a short break and we'll come back.
Okay.
TDN Africa Media, for news and entertainment. TDN gets the latest. TDN Africa Media,
Welcome back. This is Salone Talk on TDN Africa Media. We'll continue with the program.
All right. Well, of course, from the newspapers, we don't see a lot of issues that come up. One major one, Dr. SAMURA, KAMARA, the fact say the APC getting.
I think that's part of the.
Yes, yes. The fact say Dr. SAMURA or the APC began press conference yesterday. And so we'll go talk more about that, but you see it was all over the newspapers. Then we also see they talk about SALONE testing 5G internet service. What do you think about that, Diana?
Well, I think now all are part of the process for make we able to get fast internet connectivity. So for me, now a very good venture that Orange go into that for test time for see how effective it will work. We hope that every Sierra Leoneans will benefit from it. It will be very reasonable, it will be expensive, so that people will enjoy the facility. Because we want a fast internet connection. Exactly. People will get a lot to do on the internet. Now everything centered around the internet, Therefore, there's a lot of people that do, especially where we don't get online streaming now. Let's say people don't go into online media and they need the internet, they need fast internet connection for ensure that they're able to do their work effectively. So it's a really good initiative and we hope that it will be sustained.
All right, well, it is not just about saying 5G, because you don't think what about 5G. So we hope say they will give you the 5G as the name imply. Because one of the greatest challenge where people always highlight and in fact say with internet service very, very unsatisfactory. And so that is very crucial. So it's a good move by Orange Sierra Leone. With the hope say that's what Gbenda say, it not going to be more financial burden on the users of the service, but it's even late that we are all now talking about 5G, whilst other countries are even thinking beyond 5G, So any other issue you pick up, Diana?
Well, I think the energy minister, according to the people, they say they highlight more activities there, which I'm very interested for know.
Okay.
Their activities then where you really want for we're going to improve, the supply of electricity, so that electricity supply go there everywhere in Salone. That kind of thing that they want for the area, because we notice still there are areas inside Western Urban, inside Freetown, we still not get access to electricity. So we not get in depth of the activities.
Yeah.
But we just hope that maybe activities them where go lead to for improved access to electricity supply.
Okay.
Will be part of that.
That's very well. Of course, I agree with you definitely. So like I said, we don't go further than what Diana don't already say. But then you pick up another thing.
I've seen the president, they appoint more women. You know, I think they really comply, you know, for ensure that they get women representatives, them, you know, where who, especially at the position of gender advisor. You know, we all know the issue of gender issue. You know, it good for get somebody who will advise you, because they go in touch with, you know, with communities. They know exactly what's in the happen day, and go they give feedback, and that they go they help them for make the correct policies. Them, you know. So I think it's a good move that although people they say you still make appointments, you know, side the salary, the money for the commerce of pure people, you know, not to, So I think that's the concern of people. But for me, I think it's the right decision for appoint somebody as gender advisor.
But yeah, well, of course, everybody talk about the over-bloated wage bill. I mean, you know, and during the campaign, President Biombi said they can cut them down considerably and even close all the loopholes them so that there will not be any financial leakage. But of course, we see that the leakages are plenty, as evident in the audit service reports. But okay, but there's another one where say 50 data the inflation rate, which is very, very much of a serious concern. 50.94% inflation increase, and this now the record high we don't ever get. Then is this of any concern to you?
Not to only me. I think as a country for be concerned, you know, everybody for be concerned, and then the government for be more concerned, you know, how they're going able to reduce this percentage. Because the more inflation high, things that will be very difficult for everybody. It will affect we. It will affect the ordinary man. We, the ordinary people, it will affect we greatly.
You're right, definitely. So because when you talk about inflation, that's, you know, everything, cost of prices for basic commodities, they go up, the exchange rates, several challenges and that. So the government will really put mechanisms in place for ensure say we control the inflation rate, because this is a massive failure already. The bank governor was on radio the other day. It's a pull in neck. I mean, for say, hey, not to me take the final decision. No, I mean, I just how can they do that? The government, the Minister of Finance, and therefore, that he also mentioned the fact say the reason make things have to go back in the country, and a lack of sincerity of purpose, people are not honest, and corruption. You talk about corruption and all that kinds of things. That's why see they try to put things there. Where it reach another table, it melts away because they need to take action because something don't happen. So you talk a lot of things there. Anyway, maybe the last thing we will talk about from the newspaper before we can go to the real issues of today. Now, 1,000 graduates to study abroad. 1,000 graduates to study abroad. In other words, now postgraduates, I mean, scholarships them. 1,000 Sierra Leoneans they can get for go study various places abroad. I'll just read a small 2 or 3 sentences as it is at the front page. State House, Freetown, Tuesday, 3rd October 2023. His Excellency Sierra Leone's President Dr. Julius Maada Bio has received a check for a 100,000 million United States dollar loan to support 1,000 Sierra Leonean students to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM in brackets. Then they get MBA, then they get artificial intelligence courses in the United States of America and Canada. The symbolic presentation of the check, which is a non-collateral educational loan, was made to the government of Sierra Leone through the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security by the SOS Necotech Center of Excellence School Program, which was officially launched in Sierra Leone in 2021. So this is a massive scholarship indeed. You know, the Americans, they don't see they will continue for support the people of Sierra Leone. So then this Monday we'll talk about the fact saying that they pull some money for refurbish the dilapidated former FBC building at Kleintown. They are going to make it monumental and very much spectacular. Then now we see this other donation, I mean, you know, on loan. They say non-collateral loan. I don't know what that means, but it's like it not get too much condition or interest or so. So it means there's no interest, you don't need to pay the loan back as you are given. And so it's going to benefit 1,000 graduates. So you must have had your first degree, I mean, or you can even get your second degree, but then this is strictly for postgraduates, candidates or students. So therefore, with the truth, it says that let it be shared in a way where no going to be deemed to be political, regional, tribal, in any way. Give the scholarship to those who should have it, and there should be a mechanism in place so that people don't go bribe their way, forget the scholarship. And favoritism no go be the order of the day, wherein they put some man there and they just go look for the young people there. If that is the case, then the essence of this scholarship no go be very well understood. What do you think about this, Dana?
I think that's at the bottom line. There will be transparency in the selection process, you know, because over the years we don't know how they give out the scholarship that they, you know, if you not belong to or you're not associated with the political party, you know, they get scholarship in this country. So it's so difficult, even if you get for go through a lot of, you know, back and forth, you know.
Right.
So transparency and make sure say it is distributed fairly, you know, so that other for benefits from them, you know, make sure say people will not get the you know, when not able to afford them. Then look for, especially for those who can't afford it, you know. I see the area of STEM, that is science, technology, and engineering, mathematics. So make sure you give it to those who cannot afford it. You know, let them go further their studies, you know. Go help a lot and come back and help for develop the country.
Yeah. But you see, even for those who can afford it, sometimes they don't get that intention. They don't get the opportunity for go abroad, America, Canada. They have the chance, I mean, you know, to sponsor their tuition and everything, but maybe not in America or Canada. Well, so for me, I would say let them just give to deserving students. Yes, to deserving students, because this is a loan Sierra Leone has to pay. So, and when person don't get a first degree, you no longer dealing at the poverty line. Yes, honestly, although you get Baku people with first degree, but they don't get opportunity for even get a job. So most of them, they just get empty degrees in the actual sense of the word, because they are not able to put their degrees into action. So I think it's a government for pay attention to that. Job creation very crucial, and we look to President Bio. He said it will create 500,000 jobs for our young people. All right, so now we go to the real issues now. The first one we'll start with the fact say Madam Aissata Jabi Kaba, the former wife of the late President Ahmad Tijan Kaba, where he did SLPP, but then a defect to the NGC, National Grand Coalition. Then where NGC they go back to SLPP, she followed Dr. Kande Yumkela, and he played a very critical role during the campaigning and all of that. And now she has been rewarded with a distinguished appointment on gender. And also the president be done relieve all in or 95% of advisors them except few, right? So now I think London are in the process of trying to appoint new advisors. And you advisor, when you are appointed, don't make your job an empty job. Make sure you provide advice to the president, whether the president listens or not. It is your business to advise him, but know that he is not bound to listen to your advice. So I will just read the appointment letter dated the 2nd of October 2023. Madam Aissata Jabi Kabar, Freetown. Dear Madam Kabar, appointment as Presidential Advisor on Gender. I wish to inform you that it has pleased His Excellency the President, Brigadier Retired Julius Madabio, to appoint you as Presidential Advisor on Gender, Office of the President. So it means she will have her office at the Office of the President. That is good. Then the terms and conditions of service in respect of your appointment will be communicated to you in due course. I am to congratulate you on your appointment and to wish you success in this assignment. Your appointment will take effect from the date you report on duty. Let me go through that again. It says your appointment will take effect from the date you report for duty. Wow. Please indicate in writing your acceptance or otherwise of the offer. So Dana, anything based on the content of this letter?
I think it's very clear.
Okay.
So the day where he reports for duty, the appointment don't take effect.
So if you decide to go today, because if you go through parliament, if you decide to go today, there is no time to waste. I'm not sure there is any time to waste.
There's no time to waste. I'm not able to recall that during President Buhari's first time he gets a presidential advisor on gender. Yes,
okay.
I don't think he may ever make
appointment
on gender.
Okay, from our President Ernest Belkoma
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So it really this also is not to time for wasting any longer. Okay. So I think say it could all do that.
I know. I can understand, right? I can understand.
For the fact that today the 3rd or today the 3rd of October.
So today the 4th. The 4th.
Okay.
The 4th.
So it needs to start work as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we will say congratulations to Madam Aissata Jabi Kabar. I mean, you know, and then of course we go to another issue, and of course this appointment is coming at a time where there are so many bold steps made to empower women. You know, the 30% quota, and the fact there is a gender law now where they call the GWE, gender empowerment, you know. Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act, when a law, and even the president is sticking to that law, as evident in the number of women where it appoints, and also the number of women who get parliamentary seats. Then Honorable Emerson Lamina of the SLPP and Honorable Mohamed Bangura have been sworn in yesterday as ECOWAS members of parliament. You know, ECOWAS gets a parliament where they discuss issues on ECOWAS member states, and so Sierra Leone is part of it, and we have to send in 2 representatives to represent not any political party but the country. So you can see Mohamed Bangura there with the coat, and you can see Sir Emerson Lamina with the check dress. What do you think, Diana?
I think that's normal something.
It's normal, okay.
It's normal.
Okay.
Let me get a representative at the ECOWAS party.
Yeah.
You know, irrespective of the fact that we all know that Mohamed Bangura, you know, in political party where they belong to, they still not occupy the city. They still they try for dialogue with the government as a result of the election. Just concluded the election because they get their own reservation about the election.
Okay.
You know, so they decide not to take part into politics until they resolve some of the issues they were made the government address.
I see. Yeah, because the controversial side of it that Mohamed Bangura don't already received a letter from the APC disciplinary committee saying for face them for go answer to queries relating to anti-party behavior, for refusing to listen to the party when the party say don't go there and you decide for go. And so, but then the other talk where there is that once you have been made an ECOWAS member of parliament, I mean, there is nothing anyone can do. You just get for serve your term. So maybe I don't know if even if the APC take action against Mohamed Bangura, such as expelling him, whether he will still maintain his position at the ECOWAS level or even in the House of Parliament, because we don't see over time the party will say this person here we need to work with them. We will not enter the parliament, but that person they once they get any strong alignment with the government of the day, and then we will see, because it happened, we will not see it happen to Bernadette Lahai, Honorable Bernadette Lahai, where at one time in party began issue with her, some people began issue with her. They went for pull-up. She was protected by the then APC regime. I mean, there we see Legacy Sanko of the PMDC. They went for pull-up. He was protected by the APC regime. And then we see MRC Lamina. They went for pull-up. He was protected by the SLPP regime. And now, we look at now two MPs there, Alfred Thompson and Mohamed Bangura. Let's see what they're fit to be.
Well, I think the scenario is quite different.
Say that again?
The scenario is quite different.
No, the scenario, of course.
Of course.
Okay, of course.
So, as you say, no,
the scenario could be different, but the label, the fact that the party say they don't want you, it could be anti-party activity, one way or the other. Because it's so the scenarios will always be different.
Because Lion and others, the names that you mentioned, they may already done in a parliament, so they get issue arise.
Yes.
But they feel say they align because of that line, they feel say so
align with the
former president,
okay.
In relationship with our so good, all that make the begin get issues at the parliament.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go to another issue. Family this TDN Media Africa in listen to, and me na Theophilus Gbenda.
And me na Diana.
All right, WASSCE results are out. West Africa Secondary School Certificate Examination. They be sit on May, June. Now the 6th exam day across the country, and the new Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education, Conrad Saki, don't announce on SLBC on the 2nd of October for saying the West African Examination Council done with the marking of the exam papers, and they have come up with the results, and then the government don't officially announce the release of their results that day. 243,202 candidates from 888 schools in the country now then take part in the examination. 243,202 candidates, and the candidates entry for the 2023 examination now the highest ever recorded, as compared to what we get initially. Say for example, there were 163,860 entries for the NPSC. So it means the number of students that were sit the WASSCE, they far above the number of people that were sit the NPSC. NPSC is the National Primary School examination, and also as compared to the 206,874 entries for the 2022 WASSCE. So you see the difference in this 2023 now 243,202, whilst last year now be 206,874. That makes them say this is the highest entry for WASSCE examination ever. Out of this 243,202, the examination authority, when at the West Africa Examination Council, withhold 34,524 results. In other words, they seized them. 34,525 results. And this is the highest ever of seized results by the West Africa Examination Council. And according to the minister, this now for sure say they don't put mechanisms in place for tackle examination malpractices. Then of course, of the 230,973 candidates that were the results, they released, because like I said, they see some results. So the one that will come out are 230,973. Out of that number there, 121,324 na girl picking them, whilst 109,649 na boy picking them. So in other words, the woman that will take part in the WASSCE examination now 52.5%. So you have more women attempting, you know, international examinations as compared to the men. And the pass rates for this year now 83%. And this also now the highest, according to the minister, 83%, the highest. And this, they even compare to 64% in 2021 and 77% in 2022. So you see, you get rapid progress year in, year out. Every year, progress they happen. If this trend continues, which means for the year 2024, you get more picking there will even sit the exam past the one that will sit for this year. So, out of the results, 105,924 candidates they obtain credits when I grade them or better in 5 subjects, including mathematics, but not English language. And English language now very serious criteria for enter university. So out of these amounts out of the 230,973 candidates them, where the results that they out now, right? 105,924 candidates them, they get 5 credits or better, including mathematics, but not English language. So in other words, now only 1,088 students them obtain university requirements with 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics, and that is just about 17% of the total candidates that will sit the exam. So this is disappointingly low. And 2 candidates them now then top the whole examination, and coincidentally they are coming from the same school. And the names then are Raimonda E. Mama and Sahr E. Phili, and they are both from the Providence International Senior High School, where they are Freetown. There are 2 seats to 9 subjects, and they get 8 A1s when are excellent and 1 B2 when are very good. So like I said, the best performing school now Providence International Senior High School, where they put in 185 candidates, and all the 185 candidates they all obtain credit or better in all the 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics, where they get direct requirement for going to university all 185 pupils of students from the Providence International School. So unfortunately, the West Africa Examination Council now published the results of 28 private schools because they owe WAEC, they not pay, waiting for pay. So they not see the result too, but they hold our force until they pay. So which means the pressure is going to the beginner, because the beginner will not pay their fees, they will not pay all they have to pay. So how comes 28 private schools are not able to meet the payment criteria for the WAEC will release the results, Diana? What do you think about it overall? No, I mean, what's it, Diana? Overall comment on the release of the WASSCE results.
Well, so far, I'm not really able to go into the breakdown of what you do just know about the amount of people we will able access the threshold, that's English language. Because if you don't get English language, it's very difficult for them to accept you. I think the only department where maybe they take 6 for English are engineering. So if you don't get 5 and below, it's I think 4.
Because 6 are credit, so if you get 6 are credit.
They're not accepted enough for we call it.
Okay.
You know? So if you get that amount of beginning they will take the exam and the dream that for go university, then they're not able to go university. They therefore go back and sit maybe private ones or wait next year and sit the examination back, you know. It's somehow really not good, you know. I don't know what's the problem with English language. Why they fail English language in SALONE?
Okay.
Whether it's a way of making them go back or go sit the exam. I don't have a business why they do now money that they make. Because they don't say when you fail English language, definitely they go back for sit the exam. So it's something where they need to investigate. Why the massive failure in English language? They need to investigate why.
You're right.
You know, if people were not studying mathematics, they get good grades for mathematics.
So I wonder.
Then they fail English language where they can perform better.
I wonder.
You know.
I wonder. So even for now, we see now journalist colleague. It always concern over this and say there is just the way you say therefore investigate.
Exactly.
There is need. Well, you not say investigate really. It say the need for sit down and find out exactly why the picking and then they pass English language. Is it because they don't get good English teachers? Is it because of possible game? We are not making any. We are just sounding what is being heard around. That is it that why they play games that they fail picking them deliberately when it comes to English? What is the problem? How comes? Right? But then look, imagine Providence. All the beginners all pass math and English language. So it means perhaps the problem is about teaching and not so much about WAEC.
No, you can't say that.
But that's what I feel. Because if
all pass math and English.
They all pass math and English language and they all get university requirement straight away for go. No time to wait, no stumbling block. No stumbling block. The only stumbling block perhaps will be if there's going to be an entrance examination. Because the last entrance examination done by Fuabe College, for instance, we see people that will get B1s, B2s. When they go for a sit entrance examination, they failed. So the question is, how comes? If you don't get such wonderful results, how comes you don't go fail an entrance examination? So anyway, many questions were asked, and then there were many doubts about the credibility of the results announced. So far, we will wait and see whether there is also going to be any credibility issue over this current examination results where they're out now. All right, so this is not TDN, the program they go on. Sierra Leone, they can't get passenger railway service again after 50 years. And this is coming courtesy of a mining company called Arise. Arise, since they come that the mining sector, they don't make lots of big headlines, take journalists them go on the mining operation outside the country. I don't forget the country, they don't remember me. But they went there with some journalists there for go see what the company they do out there. So now, as part of the arrangements or the agreement with the government for the rail and ports, if the rail and ports still in controversy, because we see newspapers them say government do some kind of double standard and all of that. But then the arrangement is that the company Arise for when they in charge now of the railways of the rail service, where the former company Africa Media has been established. Now they don't take over the operation of that service day. So as part of the deal is that therefore also provide trade service for we all local people them, especially for enable them to move with the agricultural produce from point A to point B. So you can see the train, you can see what they call them rail cars. They call them rail cars, they don't call them train. They say rail cars. And according to the company, 7% of rail cars are expected to dock on land at the Queen Elizabeth Port or Quay in Freetown on the 26th of October. So it has been communicated already that these rail cars that you are seeing on the screen are going to be in Sierra Leone on the 26th of October. And then after that, they will operationalize them. And like I said, it is coming from an agreement between the government of Sierra Leone and Arise Mining Company. And so far so good, the rail service will extend to people them now the areas there outside the rail track zone day, because their rail cars there, they can only walk on areas there where there's a rail track. If there's no rail track there, then you cannot have there because they don't use tire, right? And so therefore, this is a very significant development, but it is not clear which areas that the country will benefit from this. It's not clear. Is this not going to be in areas where the company is operating, for example, in Puloko? Because if we talk about train service, there are so many questions to ask. Because now, from point what to point what, then train services there go on. Is it from within Puloko and then it comes na Freetown, or it stops somewhere, or what is the arrangement? There is not also clear whether it's going to be free service for the people or whether they are going to be paying for this service. Then it's a matter of wait and see. Dana?
You know, instead of them giving us detail, you know, of the benefits and how they intend for use them, we just see massive PR stuff, you know, because I think after Africa Media, we don't get to know when we use that same the government we don't hand over that placed it to. And I think say the board of contention now, they're not still hand over it to Arise. So there's somehow some issue when they need for address. Where I don't know if I get this PR for say that in the other come, you know, so that they try for the government attention that can go need for vacate in this area, or for handover to Arise. You know, whatever I mean, the agreements, God knows, because I see some publication where some news where they float around social media that where this Arise may come, so that they get some issue with Pingu where they say they take the government to court and then they demand certain amount of government for pay them back if they want it there for handover the area, how they can call that, concessional area or what, to Arise. So I think say there's still no address the issue that they hate.
Okay.
So now when they see massive PR arise, they do like they are the best for Sierra Leone. You know, so that kind of way they portray to me. Say that they come for and develop SALONE, or that they come for make some changes. You know, they're mining companies there, so we have to tread cautiously. We have to be very careful. You know, governments in, governments out, you know, all past governments and present governments, they have to be very, very mindful of how they go into agreements with them. You know, so I think it's also clear whether it's not the problem where they still get with Kingu, you know, and when they go hand over the concessional area to area. So I think that battle is still there for us.
Okay,
so
you're right.
How is the how you call it,
rail cars.
You know, what's in rail cars for all that? What's they can do with
well, now they say,
let we know what they can do with the rail cars.
They don't talk and they say they will make it available to passengers. For example, people when they transport goods or produce from upline. Yes. So what the question was asked,
point to which point?
That's the point. That's the point. From what point to what point?
You don't get it. If you are structured already.
Yes. If you are talking about bringing in 7 rail cars, then I was thinking that they should have deployed them in strategic locations across the country. But it's not possible because the rail tracks are not all over the place. And it's also not known, like I said earlier, whether they are going to be paying for the service. If I load me back charcoal inside the train, what kind of, did they ask me for pay? That is what I am asking. So it's a very serious concern. All right, the program that go before, stay tuned and stay fixed. Then you always get the very best in listening to we. All right, we'll go to this one now. Dr. KAMARA holds press conference. Now, people already they say it not be like a press conference because one, they say the atmosphere be very chaotic, many people in the hall, and journalists were not even allowed to ask questions. So somebody say they're not fit to say in a press conference. But we don't see in other countries then, well, for example, where a certain president they address the media, they don't take any questions. But then for Dr. SAMURA KAMARA, people were expecting that there were so many issues to clear. So for him not to have took questions and being so busy with wanting to run to something else, that be something when that be a lost cause because those questions would have made him answer deeply to certain things then. But then you were at the press conference. What will you say is your general assessment? I mean, of the venue, of the attendance, and what's in Dr. SAMURA KAMARA say?
You know, people elect politics, I will start with, because I've been really surprised to see the place so crowded. But most of them, you know, are party supporters then. So they sent me the day yesterday for going to the 2023 presidential candidate. You know, that the very first time he talked after the election.
Yes.
You know, me myself go there because I think say we go get an opportunity for ask questions regarding the dialogue.
Okay.
But it can we say address we on the eve of the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue is started today.
Okay.
Yes, it is started. They don't not disclose the location or how the dialogue they take place, but they say the dialogue they start today. You know, so he decided to address the press, and for the first time he talks say no ever accept the June 23 election because of a couple of reasons then we highlight my statement yesterday.
Okay.
We talk about areas the way SLPP no go ever, if they don't rig election, win and sit in the areas that they don't call. But we all know say we don't talk as like 3,000 so where SIPP gets but some 6 or almost seats. You know, the possibility was so slim for them to get their seats they did in one seat, you know. So he highlight all the issue with Mohammed Kone refusing to give the data all couple of the things that he highlighted, and you know, he apologized to even the Sierra Leoneans in general, you know, for the distress and so many, you know, harassment they don't face over the years, you know, the problems they don't be. So he apologized to people that don't go through all the pain, you know, as a result of this political situation, you know. So one thing where he also made clear yesterday to the parliamentarians them and to the councillors them, the mayors them elect, he say let them rest assured that one of the demands they could make during the dialogue now that whatever they're supposed to forget, I think meaning that from the time where the colleague they don't go now officially they take maybe I don't know the salary they go make sure say they not lost nothing, you know. So he make that statement. They say that will be part of the demand where they will put forward now the dialogue.
That's good. That's good. All right, that's good. Thank you so much, Diana, for that summary. I think it's worthy enough. Like we said, that the first statement is by Dr. KAMARA since the election, and he reiterates most of the things that we don't say earlier, you know, and now we talk say here, President Biomit.
No,
okay.
Said that.
Okay, I heard that from some other source. But anyway, the Dr. SAMURA make it clear, say APC is now ready for going to dialogue. But if he talks something when we tell a condition where you see the elected MPs there, the mayors, the chairpersons, and the councillors, they forget the backlog salaries before they go into any negotiation. I think
no, you don't say before. You say they that will be part of the demands that they will make. You don't say before.
Okay, I see.
And not say before they will go into the dialogue.
Okay.
But they will make the demands that they say that will be part of the things they will for ensure happen that they make sure see all the MPs and the mayors elect, you know, answers they get the money that they. Okay. The dialogue starts today, so there's no way they can pay them before the dialogue starts. The dialogue will continue. Exactly. So that is it. So, well, I think he was just trying to tell his MPs, his elected, or the party's elected MPs and mayors to be patient and be assured that they have nothing to lose. Let them they always get confidence in them. You know, okay. Betray them. He made that statement that I will not betray you. Okay. You know. Then he spoke about loyalty. Exactly. Okay. What are the loyalty? What are you talking about? Well, I think you know, there's a lot of things that when they go around, you know. I don't just want to tell even the Babi country may talk about, you know, so you know people that can just believe, say people can just change, you know, and do things that when they go not to the interest of the people cannot want to see the political party. Yeah. But in say in loyal to the cause, so let people know there's no need people that are worried, you know. Yeah, you're right. All right, well, that is it. He also talks, the APC still rejects the results of the election. That, I mean, you know, they are going into the dialogue with an open mind, hoping that we'll find solution. So that tells you, you know, we really look at the last step. When somebody they say, oh, we go back to election. I said, no, election is not the best way to go. Let's encourage dialogue between the two people there. Let us sit and talk. Okay, so we don't deal with that. And then we don't deal with the WASSCE business. We don't deal with the appointment of Madam Aissata Jabi Kaba as presidential advisor on gender. So let's look now at this other issue where they for do with the alcohol no day, right? World Alcohol Free Day, right? Where they can commemorate on the 2nd of October every year. And this one been WHO, World Health Organization,
the aim behind this one for the reformer, because of the harmful use of alcohol. It said the harmful use of alcohol responsible for 3 million deaths yearly. So that is why we are talking about it, because even here in Sierra Leone, you get many people who are dying as a result of the effect of excessive use of alcohol, and it's very, very important. And the main aim for the commemoration of this day now for mitigate or for address the negative effects of alcohol. Excessive drinking potentially they lead to violence, it may lead to irresponsible behavior by certain people, for example, the drivers them. And this they cause accidents and injuries. So now all this will make the WHO decide, say, well, let us have a special day where we'll just raise awareness about the harmful use, the harmful effects of alcohol use, and see how best they can reduce the number of deaths. Imagine 3 million people dying yearly in the world as a result of alcohol intake. And in addition, they say regular consumption of alcohol is linked with high blood pressure. High blood pressure, liver disease, stroke, and other diverse types of cancer. You know, we get different types of cancer, both for man and woman, or man and woman, So alcohol, according to WHO, gets a role for play in all the kinds of circumstances there. And these are major health issues where the government for take very serious. Very serious for protect, the young people especially, because imagine the cheap rum alcoholic drink they were in the country now. We get about 17 companies then, or 17 industries, where they produce all kind of dangerous alcohol with high alcoholic volume, right? And then, according to my information, government will not reduce them industry there to 7, from 17 to 7. In other words, they pull 10. So you get 7 active companies there now where they produce alcoholic drinks them, and the government is making big money out of the alcohol business in the country by way of taxations and other things. The government is making big money. So it will not even be in the interest of government for talk about stopping the use of alcohol in the country. I don't know, but that is just what I think. Like I said, the government is making big fortune out of it, and then people are dying. And this is not just a Sierra Leonean thing; it is a global phenomenon. You go now, America, England, Germany, Russia, Italy, all other countries there. If you go there, you will find out that you get lots of alcoholic drinks there. The other countries were perhaps very limited in alcoholic presence are the Arabic, Islamic countries there, where certain countries there, in fact, when you travel, they tell you, say, alcohol not there now. And when you go there, you go for alcohol business, you get problem. So, I don't know. What do you think about this, Diana?
This report they come from WHO or World Health Organization.
Oh yes, well, this is a commemoration where they happen on a yearly basis. Every year, that's the way you get World AIDS Day, or Day of the African Child, Day of Women's Day, this and that, Father's Day. This is one of the, World Health Organization, a United Nations entity. And most of their commemorations there soon are United Nations, not then sanctional, right? So that is it.
Well, in order for raise awareness, I think that's just a way for remind, the way they take alcohol, and also remind the government for make sure say they put systems in place for able to minimize, the intake of the harmful drugs there. So alcoholic drink, as you talk, see, we have a plastic alcohol drink there, where they will get 2,000, 1,000, so cheap. And I think that there was a company where we did a monitor where everybody raised the alarms. The government for closed that company because of the kind of drink the way they make. Now it forced me serious concern, years back. I don't know whether they still operate, but the plastic drum they still there around, all over the place, So if government's not serious and they put interest on some of the things that they and they don't get the proper health facility system for able where people don't get ailments that were related to the use of alcohol, then for me I think say that it's lack of the government.
Yeah.
The citizens them able to get the proper health care. They they're able to put system in place for ensure that they don't go take things that we go and bulk there. You just left there at the mercy of their companies there because you take tax from them, It's really bad, Once we see other countries, they take steps, for protect the citizens because as a government, you interest for protect your citizens there. For make sure you protect them at all costs, we go take foreign company come because they can't pay tax, they destroy.
Okay.
You talk about human capital development. If they destroy the people, who that they go there for ensure that things they go before the country.
Okay. Then that is it. I think that I don't speak to all the issues then. We don't see, but people in the past are street, the useless one because of alcohol. We don't see plenty of people there don't go into difficult situations because of alcohol, and we get lots of cases of sexually transmitted diseases where mainly alcohol play part because when someone don't check or someone don't check, you need member for any protective aspect of the intercourse. What the person think about is just go and then get it without thinking about it because your mental situation may get issue. Then according to the statistics, to the data we'll get, is that you get a situation wherein about 45%, this is the medical data, 45% of mental cases in the country relates to rampant use of drugs and alcohol.
So you see the situation very serious.
Yeah.
So that makes government to put very serious attention, on the issue they do.
Okay. So we still wait for waiting the special executive or the special cabinet committee where government is set up for begin to hear things there about this drug business because it's like the push is getting serious and nobody is talking much about it anymore. It's still coming in. Youths wise are still using it. They are still having their impact. But then it's like not much is coming from the government in terms of effective control.
Exactly. The security forces then they do the little best, and the other area you see they go in some place they will forget a large quantity of narcotics, drugs there. So we hope that they will continue in that direction. They enable for put plenty commodities in the communities there.
Okay, so you want to close the program, please?
Yes, but that we could say thank you to you and join me. When they listen to it throughout the discussion, we go there on Friday, so please get connected with you again on Friday.
Okay.
So then have a blessed day in the Africa.
I'm Theophilus Gbenda, the town thank you for always there with we. Continue for like with page, subscribe and share. Right? We got a lot of online television stations there where they around. But of course, we love to say TDN stand out as one of the best. So you have to make us reach with your own targets. It's not just about listening to the programs, but you also have to like, subscribe, and then you share. Thank you so much to the technical man at the studio, Brother Tijan, where make it possible for the live stream this program. Well, thank you to all one more time. Been at Theophilus Gbenda.